It was a rainy day. The sky rumbled like it was going to split in two. There was no one left on the street. All the children had gone home. The pouring rain was hitting the window of Yasmin's room. It was getting dark. Yasmin was alone in the house. She was reading a book in her room when suddenly the power went out, and Yasmin didn't know what to do. Her mother was a doctor and her father was a policeman, and both were on duty that night. Yasmin rushed to the kitchen and took a candle out of the drawer. But she couldn't find the lighter. Hey, where did the lighter go? It's dark everywhere, and you can't see anything, she said to herself as she groped in the drawer for the lighter and couldn't find it. Oh man, it's about time the power went out. What am I going to do in this huge house now? He said and started walking slowly towards his room. Just as he was about to enter his room, he heard a scream from the corridor of the building and froze in place, not knowing what to do. For how many minutes she stood there almost without breathing. Then she tiptoed to her room as if she was running away from someone. Once in her room, she got under the covers without even looking back and tried to think about what had caused the scream earlier. She thought about calling her father, but realized she had left her phone in the living room. How am I going to get to the living room now? She muttered to herself, but she didn't dare to get out of bed. I'd better crawl like a baby to the living room and get the phone quickly, she thought, and decided to leave the bedroom. Slowly opening the creaking door, Yasmin heard a noise in the kitchen just as she was about to leave her room. It sounded as if the things in the kitchen were trying to tell her something, and she froze in her tracks. The refrigerator, dishwasher, and even the oven were making crackling noises at 10-second intervals. Yasmin thought, my God, just like in the novel I read, it's as if things are trying to give me a warning. What should I do? And she stayed where she was. But now the sound was also coming from the television in the living room. Now the television in the living room started to make a crackling noise. At this very moment, hail started to fall outside. It sounded like stones were being thrown at Yasmin's window. Is it a ghost like in my novel, or a serial killer my father arrested has escaped from prison and is going to kill me? She ran screaming back to her bed. This time I won't leave the room until my parents arrive, she thought, but she had to do something. She had heard both a scream and the sound of furniture rattling. This time I should get out of bed and go quickly to the living room without being scared, she decided, and as she slowly got out of bed, suddenly the electricity came on and her whole world was illuminated along with her room. She rushed to the living room and called her father to tell him what had happened. His father had told him not to be afraid because the power was out and things were expanding and making noise. But they could not find the cause of the mysterious screaming sound in the hallway.